Okay, we in First Kings. I was telling you about as the kingdom was split, and Rehoboam went to his young brothers, and they would say, make it harder for northern tribes. So Jeroboam said, we ain't going to Jerusalem no more for nothing. So I got to show you what Rehoboam, he did that. So Jeroboam, in his high horses, and thinking that his pride, he made two calves. Remember, we had already made a calf. It was in Egypt. When Moses just went up for the Ten Commandments. They couldn't wait for that long. They made this calf. When Moses came down, he beat the calf into powder, put it in the water to make us drink it, or make the Israelites drink it, I might say. So all 12 tribes was in Egyptian captivity. So they knew about this. They knew about this. So it's no excuse. So he made two calves. And said, this is who brought us out of the land of Egypt. So that's why, look at 1 Kings 12 and 28. Whereupon the king, who was Jeroboam, of the 9 tribes, the northern tribes, when the Most High done split the kingdom, we not one no more. You got the northern tribes, got the southern tribes. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Don't go down with Judah, the land of Judah, with Judah, Benjamin, Levite, no more. Behold thy gods, see? Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. See? So he set up this high-powered idolatrous acts before the 9 tribes. So what are they dealing with? Totally idolatry. Turn his heart, mind, and soul, and spirit away from the Most High. He made 2 calves. Knowing that, we knew our story. We knew that Moses came down from getting the 10 Commandments and made us drink that calf, and he grinded to powder in the water. So he made 2 calves. So now they're dealing with idolatry. And so the Most High brought the Assyrians to take the 9 tribes into captivity in the Assyrian Empire because of this act, and because of them denouncing the Most High, offended the Most High, and saying, this is who brought us out of the land of Egypt. So you're looking at Israel going into the Syrian captivity, learning their ways. They went in there with idolatrous mind anyway, right? So that's why when you see, we got to go into how then we had to be a light to the Gentiles. That's why they said, hey, you're going to go among the dispersed, among the Gentiles, and teach the Gentiles, talking about them, those 9 tribes. Because Judah, Benjamin, Levite, when the MASHAYACH came on the earth, he would come around. He was Judah. came on Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. When you read this Bible, most of the time, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel, whoever, Ezekiel, whoever, we in captivity. Who's in captivity? Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Look, just give you an example. Go to Daniel's, the first chapter. Verse 6, Daniel 1 and 6. Now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. You see? Children of Judah were in captivity, in Babylonian captivity. You see? Ezekiel, Daniel, everybody was in captivity. It was mainly Judah, Benjamin, Levi. So let's look at Isaiah, the 42nd chapter, to show you that we got to be a light. Just like then, it's no different then than now. Because our people call themselves Gentiles, don't they? Most of the people that go to secular churches, what they say? Are you a Jew or are you a Gentile? You're an Israelite or you're a Gentile? You tell them you're the Israelite. No, I'm a Gentile. They program. Their brains is polluted. Not clean, because the word will clean you up. And you'll see that this is what Paul had to do. This is what we're dealing with right now in reaching out to our people that are in a Gentile state of mind and call themselves Gentiles. It don't matter if you call yourself a Gentile or not. If you act like a Gentile, you're a Gentile. You quack like a duck, you're a duck. Right? Come on. Isaiah 42 and 1. It said, behold, my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles, right? Judgment to the Gentiles. It says, verse 6, I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness. Now, we know righteousness is pertaining to his law, statute, commandments. Deuteronomy 6:25. Every time you see it, remember that. Deuteronomy 6:25. Let me go there, so there might be some people that's just coming on that don't know how we precept why I'm saying that. Righteousness, what is righteousness? It's defined here in Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he hath commanded us, right? So we see righteousness, you know, it's talking about keeping of the commandments of the Most High, his rules and regulations. So it says, Isaiah 42 and 6, I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness. I've called you to keep my commandments, my laws, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, right? Now you can think there's two types of Gentiles. The other Gentiles are those that are not of the 12 tribes of Israel. And we, as the Israelites, are called Gentiles, as our brothers that was in, Jerusalem, called the dispersed among the Gentiles. They call them Gentiles and teach the Gentiles, but they call them Gentiles, which means Gawarium, which means nations. You see? Because they were scattered among, like a lot of you. It don't matter about you calling yourself whatever you call yourself. Like I said, I got 104 different identities asking Israelites, who are you? 104 different identities. So that's a Gentile state of mind. You understand? You can't get by that. 104. I'm talking about, and it's so way out that it had to be counted. Just asking what race you are. So that's a Gentile state of mind. A dead Israelite. Not in the light, but in gross darkness. So it's saying, I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant or contract or agreement of the people for a light of the Gentiles. Remember, we read in Psalms 147, 19 to 20, he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. You have not dealt so with any other nation. As for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. So we just read that. So he talk about this light of the Gentiles, not talk about to the other nations. To open the blind eyes, verse 7, to bring out the prisoners from the prison. I mean, you look at who's in prisons right now. It's not us. Filling up the prison houses. And our minds being destroyed for lack of knowledge. And them that sit in darkness, see? Bring them that sit in darkness to bring them out of the prison house. That's like your mind in captivity with nothing. Things that are worthless to you when it comes down to understanding this truth. What he's saying. Your mind's in captive. Your mind's been polluted by the way of this world. It's about diabolical plan to have them do what they do. This ain't nobody coincidence. This is what it is. Look what he's saying. He said, verse 16, and I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. See, those that are in darkness, blind, you blind, close your eyes, that's blind. You in darkness. Those that are in gross, remember Esau went into darkness and he put the people in gross darkness. So now the gross ignorance that people are in, he said, they're blind. They can't see. And I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. They didn't know this way. Just like a lot of you don't know about the truth. But you don't want to take the time to sit down and learn. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. Hear that? This is a path that a lot of you have not known. Understanding this Bible. The Most High, first and foremost, through this Bible. MASHAYACH, YAHAWASHI, first and foremost, through this Bible. And knowing that who you are as an Israelite through the Bible. That's what he said. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. And that's all it is for us. Paul's writings, him going to the Gentiles, Peter going to the Gentiles, James and so forth, as they were filled with the Holy Spirit. This is what you're doing and what they were doing then. Paths that they have not known. You have not known this. You got to be taught this. I will make darkness light. He would say he's going to make you be in ignorance. He started putting you in this gross ignorant state that you've been in to come out of that gross ignorant state into this marvelous light and following the Most High's rules and regulations. Before them, and crooked things, you know it's crooked. You know everything is crooked. Here, this great melting pot of evil and wickedness and abominations amongst all of us. He gonna make crooked things straight. See? These things will I do unto them and not forsake them. See? It's the future, prophecy. He had to do this to them because, you know, they were dealing with idolatry. They left dealing with idolatry, 2 calves. You know, that's really denouncing the Most High. You know, look. Go to Exodus, 20th chapter. Most High said this, they ain't heard it yet. We ain't heard it yet. But he said, Exodus 20:3 said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. No other idols before me. Jeroboam made 2 calves, right? And that's what they bowed down to. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. So they made these 2 calves, and this is what they did. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. They bowed down to these 2 calves, nor serve them. They served those 2 calves. But I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity, the wickedness, the evil, the sins of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. And that's what you're showing when you deal with all this idolatrous idols and so forth. And showing mercy, that's not getting something you do deserve. Unto thousands of them that love me, love the Most High, and keep my commandments. You ain't getting away with that. You ain't getting away from it. You ain't getting away with it. Straight up. The things you doing, you ain't get away with it. He said you love him by keeping his commandments, doing what he say do, his rules and regulations. If you don't know his rules and regulations, how you going to say that you righteous? And you don't even know what's right from wrong, according to the Most High. Oh, that's right. Follow your heart, right? That's what they teach you in the world. So look, from there we're going to look at Hosea. Go to Hosea. The first chapter. Hosea, the first chapter. And look at okay, let's look at it. Say the word of the Most High that came unto Hosea, the son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, right? We just read about Jeroboam. Maybe it's over the northern tribes of Israel, which represent, the southern tribe was predominantly Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and the northern tribes were Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. So, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. See, the beginning of the word of the Most High by Hosea, and the Most High said to Hosea, go, take up thee a wife of whoredoms. So he told Hosea to take a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Most High. See? Most High cold, ain't he? But he real. He said, go get a wife of whoredom and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Most High. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Zimlam, which conceived, and bare him a son. And the Most High said unto him, call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. Gonna cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. They would go when they built them two calves. He gonna bring the Assyrians on the northern tribes, which was like northern Israel, and put them into the land of Assyria. And it came to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bare a daughter, and the Most High said unto him, call her name Laruhamah, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel. That's the northern kingdom. But I will utterly take them away. That's what I'm telling you. He said, utterly take them away, prophesying what he's going to do to the northern kingdom that made them two calves under Jeroboam, the king of Israel. Syrians came and took them into captivity. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah. That's why you see most of the Bible in the Old Testament talk about Judah. It will save them by the Most High, their power, and will not save them by bow or by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Now when she had weaned Laruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said the Most High, call his name Leomami, for ye are not my people. That's the northern tribes. For ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. That's deep. See, so I'm not going to be your power. But he said, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. They're going to have a lot of children, which cannot be measured, nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people,
as joined,
there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. See, that's what we're doing now. And that's what Paul was doing. Tell them they're the sons of the living power. Come away from this idolatry, because they was dealing with idolatry from the time that they went into Syrian captivity. That's why they went into captivity. And he said, stop dealing with this idolatry so that you can be able to be the sons of the living Most High. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel, see, that's southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, who is a Mashayacha YAHAWASHI, and they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Israel, of the Israelites, you know. But the Most High going to do that. So I want you to just see that. So let's go to Isaiah 59 and 2. Isaiah 59 and 2. But your iniquities have separated between you and your power. See, the wickedness that we done separated us from the Most High. And your sins, breaking his laws, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations, have hid his face from you. That's why he hid his face from us, that he will not hear. That's deep. So you keep on doing whatever you want to do, how you want to do it, following your own mind, and praying to the Most High. He said, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he, the Most High, will not hear. See? And you understand. That's why I say it all the time. And I'm going to show you that no matter how you think in your wildest dreams, these nations know that the Most High hid his face from us because of us not keeping his laws, statutes, commandments. They know this. But we don't know it because we've been destroyed for lack of knowledge. We don't have a clue. We don't know. Why? Because we are steady trying to find a way not to do what's right. Go to Ezekiel 39 and 23. These other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, and the heathen, that's these other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. You see that? We as the family of the Israelites went into captivity for our wickedness, for our evil. Because they trespassed against me. We trespassed against the Most High. Therefore hid I my face from them. The heathen know this. We don't know this as a people, but the heathen know this, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. You see? So the heathen know this. So you think they're gonna show you the right way? Get back to the Most High? That's why they don't want this to go out. They don't want you to know how to get back to the Most High. They don't want you to be able to know how to tap into the Most High so that he can have favor on us. Let me give you an example, if I can. When we got our temple back, we just went over the feast of dedication. When the Edomites, wicked Edomite king Antiochus destroyed our temple, right? And Judas Maccabees and his boys and his brothers went to war and got it back. Let me show you how these heathens feel about us. So you'll know. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Go to 1 Maccabees, the 5th chapter. It ain't talking about just no one nation. This is what it says. We got the temple back. We praise the Most High. We down with the Most High. We came back to his laws, statutes, commandments, and he done brought us back to our land to be able to have our temple to worship him. 1 Maccabees 5th chapter, the 1st verse. Now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. See? Because now we can call on our power. So you think they want you to be able to learn what it is that I'm bringing forth to you through the Spirit of the Most High? You think they want to make sure that everybody can get this? No. Now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob that was among them. And thereupon they began to slay, they began to kill, to murder and destroy the people. See? And Judas fought against the children of Esau, the Edomites, the so-called white man, in Idumea. Idumea, look it up. I looked it up in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Idumea is Edom, Rome, at Arabidon, because they besieged Israel. And he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils, robbed them of everything they had. So I'm just showing you that these heathen nations know this. They know this. That the Most High hid his face away from us for our wickedness. So you think they're going to show you how to be righteous? No. They're going to show you how to stay wicked. So the Most High will continue to have his face away from us. Why he's saying, your affliction, you shall seek me early. That's why he's bringing these plagues on this earth. What you going to do when it comes for you? That's why we gotta get it right, y'all. Look at Luke, the 1st chapter, the 33rd verse. Luke 1. Because I'm bringing how we're gonna be a light to the Gentiles, and also got to deal with being this light and what we got to deal with and coming back to the Most High, because it's very important. What's the point of saying we got to reach out to these Gentiles that are Israelites, and we don't know how to show them how to have a relationship with the Most High? First chapter of Luke, verse 33. We can start at verse 32, talking about the MASHAYACH. He shall be great, talking about the MASHAYACH, and shall be called the Son of the Highest, the only begotten Son of the Most High, as an angel. And the Master of Mashiach, or power, shall give, and the Most High, and the Most High shall give unto him the throne of his father David. Talking about the MASHAYACH. And David of the tribe of Judah. And tell you in Hebrews 7:14, for it is evidence the fact that our power of Mashiach Yahawashi sprang out of Judah. Okay? So it said, and he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever. The family who live in the house, family of Jacob, who is the Israelites, forever. And of his kingdom there shall be no end. Then said, that's not what I wanted. That's all I wanted right there. Say there shall be no end to his kingdom. Okay? So now, look at 2 Corinthians 4. And that's what we're waiting on. 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, in the 6th verse. For the Most High, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, bringing the Mashiach on the earth, and bringing his commandments to shine forth in this wicked, evil, and perverse nation and people that are amongst us and amongst them at this time in the Roman Empire. For the Most High, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts. He's shining in our minds, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of the Most High in the face of a Mashiach Yahawashi. But we have his treasure in earthen vessels in his bodies, that the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us. See, we are troubled. Aren't we troubled? On every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, cast down, but not destroyed, always bearing about in the body the dying of a Mashiach Yahawashi, for the life also of a Mashiach, which might be made manifest in our body, as we going through what we going through. He might be manifest in us as we do what we're supposed to do, to please the Most High. For we which live are always delivered unto death for Mashiach Yahawashi's sake. You say you're going to be hated for my name's sake. That the life also of a Mashiach might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. So then death worketh in us, but life in you. Meaning the ones that's dealing with this truth and being out there on the forefront, death worketh in us, but life in you, because you know that there's something promised to us that nobody can take away. And that's everlasting life. That's our blessing. That we do what the Most High tells us to do, we're going to live forever and ever and ever. We got next forever and ever and ever in a righteous kingdom. We having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed, and therefore have I spoken. We also believe, having faith, and therefore speak, knowing that he which raised up the Mashiach Yahawashi shall raise up us also by Mashiach Yahawashi and shall present us with you. Then you know, hey, he let me know, hey, I'm leaving out of here. But hey, Most High said he gonna raise us up with a Mashiach Yahawashi. We went over there in 1 Thessalonians 4:16 down. You see? Those that have died by some Mashiach Yahawashi are gonna be raised for it first and come with a Mashiach Yahawashi. And we that are alive, Most High will, gonna be caught up in the air. The angel will come and get us, put us in the air as he destroy this place in an hour. Then we're going to come down and reign on this earth. Oh, yeah. So, look at Isaiah 61:1, because we got to be this light. That's what we're looking at, shining brighter. As we learn these things, it's bringing you out of darkness into the light. Isaiah 61:1. And the Spirit of the Most High is upon me, because the Most High have anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, right? So, look at, first and foremost, Luke, the 4th chapter, because when the Mashiach was on the earth, he read this. He gave him the Bible and he read this. Luke 4:16. And he came to Nazareth. This is Mashiach Yahawashi, the anointed Savior. He came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, this is custom. This is what he done. He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. So he went into the synagogue, he stood up for to read. What did he read? And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. You know, that's what he's talking about, Isaiah. Remember where we just came from, Isaiah 61:1. Down. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, the Spirit of the Most High is upon me, because he have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. It said meek, that's the poor. He have sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Most High. Right? And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down, and the eyes of all of them were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears. Because understand this, we get understanding through the scriptures, but scriptures are we get understanding through the precepts, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, right? So there's a part that he didn't say in his deliverance of reading Isaiah, the 61st chapter. It's a part he left out. And that is, when you look at Isaiah 61:2, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High, he stopped, right? verse 19 of Luke the 4th chapter, to preach, which is proclaim, the acceptable year of the Most High. And he closed the book. So he didn't read this. He stopped there because it says, and to Isaiah 61:2, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High and the day of vengeance of our power. Say it wasn't that time, but it's coming to comfort all that mourn. See, so he didn't continue there. He read that little in that one verse. Well, I say, like we give you an example. If you listen to any one of us bring forth the Jews are black, we go to Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof language, they are black unto the ground, right? But you all never hear anybody go, and the cry of Jerusalem has gone up. That part right there, we don't ever read that. Just listen, we don't hardly ever read that because we just dealing with the Jews are black unto the ground, different shades of brown, right? And that's what he did. He just cut that off, that last part, because did he come for vengeance? And the day of vengeance of our power that we read about earlier in this lesson, has that happened yet? No, that's coming. He's bringing it as a destroyer, as he's known. His nickname, the destroyer. In the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. But vengeance is going to be on someone, and comfort is going to be on someone else. That's why he said, look, I like that, because he told us in Isaiah 40:1, he said, comfort ye. He said, comfort ye my people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, said the Most High. He said, speaking comfortably to Jerusalem, to the Israelites, and cry unto her, that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. Most High didn't pardon our warfare. He didn't pardon our iniquity. It's over. For she hath received of the Most High's hand double for all her sins. See? So when you see they gonna get double, we receive double. Most High is just power. So that's where you gotta be comforted. You gotta comfort with those words. You see, so it ain't time for him. It wasn't a time for him at that time when he was on the earth in the flesh. He came, like we read in Acts 5:30 and 31, to die for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel as that ultimate lamb. Because nobody sacrificed animals once he passed. But he rose, So look at Matthew 4. Matthew, the 4th chapter, the 15th verse. Well, let's start at verse 13. Let's go up to 11. Then the devil leaving him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Once he was dealing with him, he fasted for 40 days, 40 nights. The devil was tempting him. He kept dealing with him with the law of the Most High. For all you preachers out there say we ain't under the law, that's what he rebuked the devil with. So how your people that go to church, that follow what you're saying, that don't know about him going to the law every single time to rebuke the devil, how they rebuke the devil? And how y'all gonna rebuke the devil? You that know. If you don't know that he went to the law every single time to rebuke the devil, if you ain't dealing with the law, how you gonna even know what to say to the devil when they come and deal with you? Or these spirits, these seducing spirits that's in these people that's gonna deal with you. But the angels came and ministered unto him. Now when MASHAYACH had heard that John was cast into prison, now he just finished going through 40 days and 40 nights of fasting. Now they done got John, his cousin, John the Baptist, and put him in prison. He departed into Galilee, see, in the land of Galilee, northern Israel. And leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Capernaum, which is upon the seacoast, in the borders of Zebulun and Naphtali. That ain't Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That's the borders of Zebulun and Naphtali, right? That it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah, the prophet, saying, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. See? So they calling them Gentiles. Remember, we went to John 7:35, where they said, who you going to go to? They didn't know where he was going to. MASHAYACH was going to say, who you going to go to disperse among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? You see? We were called Gentiles. We're calling the ones that was scattered in these different lands that Paul is writing to and sending letters to and going to visit and so forth. He called them all Gentiles. Paul was a Gentile as far as they was concerned. Peter and all of them was concerned. Paul was a Gentile. So it says that it might be fulfilled, verse 14, which was spoken by Isaiah, the prophet, saying, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, which is Zebulun and Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee, of the Gentiles. The people which sat in darkness saw great light. And to them which sat in the region of and shadow of death, light is sprung up. That's why it told you in John the 1st chapter that he was that light. You see? So, and that's where he was at, northern Israel, the land of Zebulun and Naphtali. And that was, you just going by what was written. Go to Isaiah, the 9th chapter. Let's look at one. Nevertheless, Isaiah 91, nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation, when at the first be lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward did more grievously afflict her by the way of the sea beyond Jordan and Galilee of the nations. See, that's what I told you. Gentiles mean nations, or Goyim in ancient Hebrew, and Goyim by the Yiddish language. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. You see, the people that walked in darkness didn't know, have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shine. See, so you're seeing that. I tell you over and over again that during the New Testament, there is no New Testament when the MASHAYACH walked the earth. He only had the law and the prophets. So who did he quote from? Isaiah. And when the devil came to deal with him, what did he deal with? That was the prophet. When the devil came to deal with him, what did he deal with? The law. That's all he had was the law and the prophets. So that's what he dealt with. So I hope y'all seeing this. I hope I know I'm going a lot of different places, but I hope you really follow me to lock into what it is that we seeing here. Because go to St. John, the 1st chapter, and you'll see that he's bringing forth understanding of these scriptures that he had to go by, and that's the law and the prophets. St. John, the 1st chapter, and we look at verse 4. In him was life, talking about the MASHAYACH, and the life was the light of men, right? And the light shineth in darkness. What empire? The Roman Empire. What he dealing with? He's dealing with Israelites that's calling themselves Greeks. Israelites that call themselves so-called white people. Greeks. They had the customs of the Greeks. They call it Hellenists. Greek-speaking Jews. Israelites. You see? They learned the customs of the heathen. When he came on the earth. Look, real quick, I ain't gonna dwell on this too long, but I'm just gonna show you. In 2 Maccabees 6:6, just proving that point. This is in the Greek Empire. He's in the Roman Empire. This is before he came. HaMashiach came on the earth. So it tell you in 2 Maccabees 6:6, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts. Let's talk about us. We the ones that keep Sabbath days. We the ones that keep ancient feasts. Listen, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days. This is when wicked King Antiochus was ruling over us. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts in the Greek Empire, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. That's why you say to the Jew and to the Gentile, to the Jew and to the Greek. Talk about us. Like we go to the first parts of these chapters, name any of them, And it's talking to us, we the Israelites. I showed you how I said to the saints. If you know what the Most High, it say the Most High, it say God, who we say the power of. Exodus 3:15-16, he the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Say, this is my name forever and a memorial to all generations. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So if you're not of the 12 tribes of Israel, he's not your power. He said in Amos 3:1-2, hear this word that the Most High spake against you all, Israel. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. You see? So he only know us. He said he came down in Psalms 83:5. He said, I came down to Egypt. I heard a language that I didn't understand. Understood not. You think about these other nations? They're the enemies of the Most High. The haters of the Most High. You see what we just read when we got our temple back and our altar that we can praise the Most High. They hated it and started to kill us. The nations. They didn't say just nations. They said the nations. So don't get it twisted. The Bible answers everything. It's just a matter of where your mind is at to realize what time we in and who we dealing with. And we better be dealing with the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Every day, every way, every shape and fashion that we can. And pleasing him. John 1:4. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. You hear that? So those that are ignorant and not knowing, they're not going to comprehend this. There was a man sent from the Most High whose name was John. That's John the Baptist, MASHAYACH's cousin. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light of MASHAYACH, that all men through him might believe. But see, if nobody take you to Proverbs 6:23 to show that that light is the law of the Most High, he's not taking the place of the law of the Most High, but a lot of them take this and they'll run with it because it's in the New Testament. They don't know about the precept of the Old Testament to see that, he's a light. But they killed the light. He was raised on the third day, walked the earth for 40 days, went to the right-hand side of the Most High, and now he can fulfill what is said in Isaiah 61:2. Bring the vengeance of the Most High that we done read about earlier. He bringing it because he coming to judge and make war as a destroyer. And he say, I'm not going to meet you as a man. He coming in his angelic power, him and Michael, the archangel of war, hanging out, ready to deal with him, coming here as the destroyer, as he is known. That's his nickname. Better understand. And it's right there in 1 Corinthians 10th chapter. Just read it. He already did a whole lot of damage. So John the Baptist, verse 8, he was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. You see? He was sent to bear witness of the light. That was the true light of MASHAYACH, which the light of every man that cometh into the world of Israel. Because look, go to Acts 2:21-22. He wasn't around nobody else. He wasn't socialized like when you see people come around him. They came around where he was at when he was dealing with us as the Israelites. Acts 2:21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call upon the name of MASHAYACH shall be saved. What do he say? Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Not everybody. MASHAYACH of Nazareth, a man approved where? Of the Most High, where? Among you. Who is that? Ye men of Israel. See? He was approved of the Most High among you. Who? Ye men of Israel. By miracles and wonders and signs, which the Most High did by him, where? In the midst of you. Who's the you? Ye men of Israel, as ye yourselves also know. And we know because we reading it, you know. But they're quoting from, oh man, that's the power. That's the spirit of the Most High. Hallelujah. You turn this Bible and go right there with they quote, the precept. That's the spirit of the Most High. All praise the Most High. Joel 2:27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Most High, and the MASHAYACH, your power, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed, excuse me. There it is, man. Wow. Hallelujah. That's as a spirit when it happens like that. Because, I mean, another one. Matthew 1:21. Matthew 1:21. And she who is Mary, his mother, shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name YAHAWASHI. For he shall save his people from their sins. Right? So what did he say? Who did he say he came for? Matthew 15:24. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what he said. John 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what. A lot of y'all don't know what you worship. We know what we worship, for salvation, that's power, rule, and authority, is of the Jews. You see? These are the Israelites. Because we got next forever and ever and ever. See? So this is what we got to look at. So when you understand this, you see that it's talking to the children of Israel. Point blank. That's why when we look at, go to James 1:1. James 1:1. It says, James, a servant of the Most High. Remember we read in Baruch 3:36, Jacob, my servant. So he had to be an Israelite to be a servant. James, a servant of the Most High, and the master of MASHAYACH, is addressed to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren. Hear what he said? My brethren. So it's addressed to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. So if you're not of the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Manasseh, Reuben, who I'm listening, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar. If you're not part of the 12 tribes of Israel, then he's not talking about you. He's not talking to you at all. So you can, people going into this Bible and they reading this. If I'm addressing my conversation to Michael, me and Michael having a conversation, how is it you're going to put yourself in our conversation and I don't even know you. Michael don't even know you. I have a conversation between me and Michael. Period. How do you fit in this? To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. Now, how are you? How's he talking? I mean, I'm just saying, I look at these religions, they've been going into all these verses and, hyping it up.